Hey y'all, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me today for a Bible journaling process video. I'm going to be using a digital printable set from Sweet'n Sassy Stamps and also a coordinating stamp set. And here's a shot of that printable. I'm using my Interleave Bible and I'm in the book of James. So I'm masking off the verse. This is James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. And I'm masking off the verse with some washi tape because I'm going to be sponging around the edges of that verse with some ink and a craft sponge. Now I'm in the back of my Bible, so you see how it kind of flops around. So I just grabbed a box. Literally, it was from my trash can. And it was clean, kind of. You'll see in a few minutes that it really wasn't clean. But I'm sponging around the edges and I pull that washi tape off. Now, I did first put that washi tape on my hand so that the stickiness was kind of gone so that it would pull off easily. Now, I've pulled out my rubber brayer and I'm picking up some ink on that brayer, just the three colors, and I'm rolling that ink onto the brayer and just overlapping the colors, and I'm going to roll that color onto my page. Now these colors are from Creative Retreat Kits. One of those colors is brand new as of today, this yellow. It's called Yield. So the colors I'm using, these are pigment inks, and they are incredible inks. These are probably one of my favorite inks. This yellow is called Yield, and then I used Peachy Keen and then Golden Sun Kiss. So I used my brayer, and now I'm rubbing off the color. I'm kind of cleaning it with my stamp chamois. And then I'm coming in. I had a lot of ink on my stamp chamois, and so I'm just kind of rubbing rubbing the ink that's on my page. I didn't realize it was going to rub off so much what was on the page. I could have used a baby wipe or something like that. You know, you don't have to have a brayer for this. You could use a baby wipe, but you're not going to get quite that same blending effect. And then I come in again with this stamp chamois. You could use again a baby wipe and just kind of rub it in, blend it. I really didn't know what I was doing here. I was just kind of going for it. And I got kind of a splashed look, a sun-kissed look. And that's what I'm going for. Yeah, we'll go with that. I was just seeing what was going to happen. And I really like how it turned out. It is a pigment ink, these inks, so it remains wet for a few minutes. So that's why I used my heat tool. So I cut out the pieces that I wanted from the printable. And these were printed on clear sticker sheets. And some of the pieces I went ahead and then also stuck them on white cardstock and then cut them out again. So those pieces there, I wanted them stronger and a white backing. Didn't want them to be see-through, so I put them on the white cardstock. So I just pulled out the stamp set called Life in Lemons, and I stamped this really cute mason jar, and I'm going to make this lemonade. Now, the stamp set, you can make this into tea or lemonade. And my thought here is that I'm going to make a lemonade page. So the verse is James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. And what I'm doing here on screen, I'll talk about the verse in a minute. What I'm doing on screen is I'm using my watercolor pencils to color this image. So I'm using the pencils to outline the edges. I go heavy on the lines and then I kind of lightly color in the image, and then I use my aqua brush right here and then I color it in to blend the colors. And I might add in some of the color with the pencil. You could see that I was using my hand as a palette. And I'm going to let that dry before I cut it out, because if I try to cut it while it's still wet, it's not going to be a clean cut. Okay, so I'm going to fiddle-faddle with my placement of all these different pieces, and I'm going to do some stamping. I've pulled out the lemon stamp and then the little orange stamp, and I'm doing just some background stamping. So the verse here, let me just read it, is James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. And it says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, and sisters, I'll add, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness, and let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. So this verse, it's kind of a tough one. Count it all joy when we experience trials. That is so not easy to do, to count it as joy. So my page here is going to say, when life gives you lemons, enjoy the squeeze. Count it all joy. When life gives you lemons, and this page here, I've just stamped a bunch of lemons to show how sometimes we have lemons that are just all over us. We are just inundated with lemons, and sometimes we just feel like we have so many lemons in our lives, and we don't know where they're coming from, where they're going. We don't know why God is sending us through all these trials. But this verse says, count it all joy. And why should we count it joy? Because we know that these trials produce in us steadfastness, and they make us perfect and complete. God grows us through these trials. So, as this page says, and I'm really wanting just a fun, fresh look on a topic that can be kind of painful. So we might feel like we're just getting the life squeezed out of us, the juice, if you will, squeezed out of us. So this lemon here says squeeze the day, and my sentiment is going to say, when life gives you lemons, enjoy the squeeze. So this printable, it has several of these pieces here, lots of word fetty, and you could use all kinds of things. You can say, when life gives you lemons, make a pie. When life gives you lemons, put it in your sweet tea. So this printable really goes along with the stamp set. And again, these are from Sweet'n Sassy Stamps. And then that piece up there says fresh lemonade. So I'm saying, when life gives you lemons, enjoy the squeeze. Count it all joy. It's not really going to be fun, but we can remember that God's going to grow us. So I just really fiddle around with the placement. But when you're doing these layering pieces, you can see how I anchor all the pieces, and I have 3 different placements. I have like a triangle of spots here. So I just removed all the pieces so I could get my stamping done, and then a little bit of black splattering. I did that at the bottom because with these printables, if I tried to splatter once I've put them all down, then I might get some smearing, because I printed these on my inkjet printer, and that is not waterproof. Those can smear. So these little word fetty, again, just like some of the others, I wanted them to be, I didn't want them to be see-through, so I put them on white cardstock. I'm using that craft sponge again to get some edging on my pieces. And I'm just adding more edging. I'm going to place my pieces down. I really do struggle with where I put those splashes, those juice squirts. So I've got those. That was one piece that I thought was really fun. It's just kind of those stripes. Now I've got a paint card, and I like to use those to just kind of scrape these printables when I place them down, because that helps them to really get good and flat, and then you don't see any of the edges. So I always keep a paint card handy, and then I use that and just press it hard so that it gets those pieces all the way down and you don't see any lines. When I'm layering like this, I like to have little pieces peeking out from underneath. So you see how I have the little orange is going to peek out from underneath those word fetties. right there. The little black and white circle is going to peek out from underneath the orange. Oh, that's not an orange, that's a lemon. Although my printer, the color, it's a little wonky, and so it came out looking a little more peachy, but that's okay. I really like the colors of this page. Again, I thought it was fun and fresh, which sometimes we need to have more of a fun, fresh focus on such a serious topic as trials. And that's why God says, count it all joy. It's all about attitude and focus, isn't it? Our attitude, we need sometimes just an attitude adjustment. So you see how I have the 3 different focal points here. The one up top that says fresh lemonade with the jar, and then the one that says when life gives you lemons, enjoy the squeeze, and then the one at the bottom, and it makes kind of a triangle. I'm boxing my verse, and then I felt like I needed something else, so I pulled out an Illustrated Faith rainbow grid. This one has orange. They come in different colors, but I cut out the orange one so it would match. And I'm going to trim that so I can have it just peeking out underneath the lemon. And then I'll use the part that I cut on somewhere else. The good thing about digital printables is that you can resize them, you can use them over and over, however you want to. Now I pulled out some Illustrated Faith grid washi. Right now it is sold out, it is out of stock. I did link some other samples or some other kinds that you could possibly get. I know sometimes you can get it from Target. I linked some that were available on Etsy, but this particular one was from Illustrated Faith, and like I said, it's not available anymore. It might come back in stock, I don't know. I'm writing the verse there on the little label. I'm going to do my journaling in the bottom corner, and I'm going to do my date stamp over on the right page, right here. I didn't get a clean stamp there because that box was empty. That was underneath my Bible there. So I had to come back in and fix it. So that is pretty much it for my page. You'll see some close-up shots. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section. If you did like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so that you can get notified when any new videos come up. And come back and join me next time so that we can hang out again. Thanks. Bye-bye.